This is me again, Teacher Jeff, and we will going to discuss all about relate actual experience as you make a stand, or in other words, making a stand, or editorial. This is a lesson from English 6 quarter 3. Okay, first is we will going to read the following words and phrases here. Let's start. Taking responsibility, forgetting homework, blaming others, ownership, conscious effort, accountability, independence, valuable lesson. And now it's your time to read. Okay, very good. I'll let you read these words and phrases because we will going to read an article at the next slide. So these words and phrases are included in the article, and hopefully you understand these phrases and words here. This time we will going to read the article about importance of taking responsibility of a 6th grade pupil. Do you have an idea about the word responsibility? Very good. Today we will know that word and what is the importance of taking responsibility. Let's start reading. So I will read first, and after I read all the article, we will going to answer some comprehension check questions. So listen carefully. When I was in 6th grade, I remember forgetting to bring my homework to school a few times. I would often blame it on my parents for not reminding me or on my siblings for distracting me while I was trying to pack my bag. However, my teacher made it clear to me that forgetting my homework was my responsibility and that I needed to take ownership of it. At first, I was frustrated and embarrassed, but I soon realized that my teacher was right. I started making a conscious effort to check my backpack before leaving home and to pack everything I needed for the day. As a result, I rarely forgot my homework again. This experience taught me the importance of taking responsibility for my actions and not blaming others for my mistakes. I believe that this is a valuable lesson that all 6th graders should learn, as it will help them become more accountable and independent individuals. Now, did you get the article? Have you understood the article? Now let us check questions. So first question is, what was the experience that the writer had in 6th grade? You're right. The writer forgot to bring their homework to school a few times and initially blamed others for their mistake. Second question. Who did the writer initially blame for forgetting their homework? You have an idea. The writer initially blamed their parents or siblings for not reminding them or distracting them while packing their bag. Number 3. What did the writer's teacher emphasize about responsibility? Okay, very good. The writer's teacher emphasized that forgetting homework was the writer's responsibility and that they needed to take ownership of their mistake. Number 4. How did the writer feel after their teacher's lesson on responsibility? You have another idea. At first, the writer felt frustrated and embarrassed, but they soon realized that their teacher was right. Fifth, what steps did the writer take to improve their responsibility? Very good. The writer made a conscious effort to check their backpack before leaving home and to pack everything they needed for the day. Verse 6. What lesson did the writer learn about taking responsibility from this experience? Very good, you have a point. The writer learned the importance of taking responsibility for their actions and not blaming others for their mistakes. Number 7. Why is taking responsibility important for sixth graders? Very good. Taking responsibility is important for sixth graders because it can help them become more accountable and independent individuals. For the last question, what do you think is the main message the writer is trying to convey about taking responsibility? Very good idea. The main message the writer is trying to convey is the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and not blaming others for one's mistake. I will ask you another question. So based on the article, what does the writer emphasizes? Is it giving factual information or giving his stand or opinion about the issue on the importance of taking responsibility? Very good. It is all about giving his stand or opinion about the issue on the importance of taking responsibility. What do you think is a type of article that a writer is giving his stand on current events or issues? You have an idea. Editorial. Do you know what is an editorial? Okay, editorial is the editor's stand on current events or issues. It is alright if you do not always agree with the editor's opinion because you have your own stand on a certain issue. So meaning to say, if you will talk about editorial, it is an article written by an editor which is all about his stand on a certain current events or issues. So this time, we will going to read an example of editorial article. Okay, and the issue is all about standing up to bullying. Do you know what is bullying? Okay, very good. So let us know what is bullying in this editorial article. So for paragraph 1, bullying is a serious issue that affects millions of people around the world. It can have long-lasting effects on the mental health and well-being of those who experience it. As a society, we need to take a stand against bullying and work together to create a safe and supportive environment for everyone. For paragraph 2, I remember a time when I witnessed a classmate being bullied by a group of students. They were making fun of his appearance and calling him hurtful names. I could see that he was visibly upset and trying to ignore them, but the bullies were relentless. I knew that I had to do something to help him. Without hesitation, I approached the group of students and spoke up for my classmate. I told them that their behavior was unacceptable and that they needed to stop. At first, they tried to brush me off and continue their bullying, but I stood my ground and continued to advocate for my classmate. Eventually, the bullies backed off and stopped their harassment. In that moment, I felt a sense of empowerment and pride in standing up for someone who was being mistreated. I knew that it was the right thing to do and that I had made a difference in someone's life. After the incident, my classmate approached me and thanked me for standing up for him. He said that he felt alone and hopeless before I stepped in, but my actions gave him hope and showed him that he was not alone. Standing up to bullying can be scary and intimidating, but it is essential if you want to create a safe and supportive environment for everyone. We all have a responsibility to stand up for what is right and protect those who are vulnerable. By speaking out against bullying, we can help to prevent it from happening in the future and create a better world for ourselves and others. Okay, have you understood the editorial or the sample editorial, which is all about standing up for bullying? So this time, we will going to know the parts of editorial. Since the paragraphs is divided into three based on what I've read earlier. So now let us identify what is the first paragraph, the second, and the third paragraph. So the first paragraph there, as you see, it is all about introducing the issue. So that part tells all about the introduction. And now, for the second paragraph, it is all about giving examples, giving reasons, and giving scenarios or example. So that part called body. And the last part is what we call the summarizing all the statement that is being mentioned in the first and the second paragraph. It's what we call conclusion. So these are the three parts of the editorial. Part is the introduction, which is sets the tone for the editorial and should grab the reader's attention. It should introduce the topic or issue that the editorial will be discussing and provide some context. So we need to say in the introduction, you should write something that will really catch your reader's attention. Because if the reader will going to read the first statement of your editorial and it is not pleasing to read, so it might be the reader will not going to continue reading your article. The second part is the body. The body of the editorial is where the author presents their argument in details. It should be organized into clear, logical paragraphs that supports the author's position with evidence, examples, and logical reasoning. And the last part is what we call conclusion. The conclusion is where the author sums up their argument and makes a final appeal to the reader. It should restate the author's position and remind the reader why it is important. Okay, for your task today, so There is an article there. You will going to identify the parts of an editorial written below. So it is grouped according to box or paragraph. So what you're going to do here is you will going to arrange the paragraphs here and label which is the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So I will read the paragraphs in each box here. So the first box tells, when it came time to choose which college to attend, my family and friends wanted me to go to a school close to home. However, I knew that another school would be a better fit for me, despite the disappointment it caused. I ultimately decided to follow my heart and attend the school that I knew was right for me. It was a valuable lesson in standing up for myself and prioritizing my own happiness and success. Second paragraph, which is in the box 2, making tough decisions that go against the wishes of loved ones can be difficult, but it's important to prioritize our own well-being. We must trust ourselves and have the courage to make choices that feel right, even if it disappoints those close to us. For the third box or the third paragraph here, making difficult decisions can be challenging, especially when they go against what our friends or family want. In this editorial, I'll share my experience of making a tough decision that went against the wishes of those close to me. And now, I will give you time to rearrange the paragraph here from introduction to body and to the conclusion. Let me now start. Okay, great. So now let us answer the activity or your activity. And here is the answer. So for the introduction, we have here making difficult decisions can be challenging, especially when they go against what our friends or family want. In this editorial, I'll share my experience of making a tough decision that went against the wishes of those close to me. For the body, when it came time to choose which college to attend, my family and friends wanted me to go to a school close to home. However, I knew that another school would be a better fit for me, despite the disappointment it caused. I ultimately decided to follow my heart and attend the school that I knew was right for me. It was a valuable lesson in standing up for myself and prioritizing my own happiness and success. For the conclusion, so making tough decisions that go against the wishes of loved ones can be difficult, but it's important to prioritize our own well-being. We must trust ourselves and have the courage to make the choices that feel right, even if it disappoints those close to us. Okay, how's your answer? You got it right? Okay, that's great. Now, if we were going to talk about this issue here, it's all about making decision. If you were included in the article, or if you are the writer, so how will you going to write something about the issue of making tough decision that most probably go against the wishes of your loved ones? Okay, let's see. So this time, can you tell what is the main issue in this editorial? Okay, very good. The main issue is making a difficult decision that go against the wishes of friends or family or even our loved ones. So that is the main issue of this article. Now, if you were the one involved in the editorial article, what is your stand in making difficult decisions? Can you give me your answer? Very good. You have an idea. This time, since you are done identifying the parts of an editorial, so it's your time now to write a 3-paragraph editorial article about the given issue by answering the guide questions. So 3 paragraph because you will going to write the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. So the issue is why it's important to reduce plastic waste. So that is the main issue that you will going to write an editorial article. And here are the guide question for you or for what to write. So the first question, what is plastic and why is it used so widely? Number 2, how does plastic waste affect the environment? Third, what are some ways that individuals and communities can reduce their plastic waste? Fourth, what are the benefits of reducing plastic waste for the environment, animals, and humans? Fifth, what are some challenges in reducing plastic waste and how can they be overcome? Sixth is, what role can schools and students play in reducing plastic waste? Okay, remember, you will going to write a 3-paragraph editorial article from the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Okay, you may now start. Assignment, you will going to make an album of clippings of editorial articles from newspapers. So be able to identify what kind of editorial are the clippings. Is it interpretation, criticism, argumentation, entertainment, or information? So meaning to say, you will going to cut out some editorial articles from newspapers and you will going to label it of what kind of editorial is that clipping. Is it for interpretation? Is it for criticism? Is it editorial for argumentation? Is it editorial for entertainment? Or is it editorial for information? So you are going to put that in a folder. So one editorial article, one paper. So in a one paper, there is one editorial article, then you will going to label it if what kind of editorial is that. So there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will going to clip 5 editorial article and put it together in a folder. And that's all for today's discussion. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you learned something today that you can use in our daily conversation or in our daily living. Thanks again. Goodbye.